How is it that the world's most advanced civilizations can't seem to solve one of the oldest conflicts in history? Today, we delve into the labyrinth of the Israel-Hamas conflict, a situation that, despite countless attempts at resolution, seems to defy every approach. Our story begins in the year 2022. Israel, the Western Asia country known for its tumultuous yet significant history, found itself conducting carefully planned airstrikes in Gaza, the densely populated region on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea. The target was none other than a respected and feared figure, Taysir Jabari. Jabari had served as a top military commander for the Islamic Jihad militant group, an extremist entity known for its violent operations. This highly strategic move by Israel was indeed a move that shook the international community, causing a ripple effect of worry. The growing tension and unease that enveloped the region stoked fears of a full-scale war in the region. Moving forward to 2023, we find Israeli military forces preparing for a ground assault on the Gaza Strip, in response to a Hamas terrorist attack. A historical perspective, however, suggests that this could backfire, potentially fostering the rise of an even more threatening group. The rise of Hamas can be traced back to the Israeli campaign against secular Palestinian groups in the 1980s, a move that inadvertently facilitated the creation of both Hamas and Hezbollah. As we progress to the year 2024, the situation continues to escalate. An internal Israeli report estimates that a fifth of the remaining hostages in Gaza have died. Displaced Gazans, uncertain of where to go, watch helplessly as Israel continues its push south. Meanwhile, international diplomacy attempts to navigate this intricate puzzle. The Qatari Prime Minister and U.S. Secretary of State express optimism about a potential deal between Israel and Hamas, but they acknowledge there's still work to be done. However, Hamas has responded positively to a ceasefire framework, albeit reaffirming its demands for a permanent ceasefire, reconstruction of Gaza, lifting of the blockade, and release of Palestinian prisoners. Israel, on the other hand, expresses dissatisfaction with Hamas's response, seeking a deal that does not ensure Hamas's continued control of Gaza and ends the war. With at least 32 hostages having died since the start of the war, the debate over the hostages has become divisive in Israel, with some supporting making a deal with Hamas and others seeking the group's total destruction. In the midst of all this, the healthcare system in Gaza teeters on the brink of collapse due to the ongoing Israeli bombing. More than a third of the city's hospitals are no longer operating, and there's a shortage of fuel, anesthetics, and electricity. So in summary, we find ourselves in a complex situation. On one hand, we have an escalating conflict with hostages caught in the middle, and a healthcare system in Gaza on the verge of collapse. On the other, we see the glimmers of diplomatic efforts to resolve the situation, with optimism from key players like the Qatari Prime Minister and the U.S. Secretary of State. Despite the complexities, one thing remains clear: the urgency of finding a resolution to this conflict. As the world watches, the question remains: will the latest deal offer bring us closer to peace in the Middle East? Or is it another step into the labyrinth of the Israel-Hamas conflict? Only time will tell.